Did you know that mastering your emotions can completely change the way you experience life? From finding peace in the middle of chaos to bouncing back stronger after adversity, your emotional strength shapes everything. If you want to build a resilient mindset and find joy in the smallest moments, you need to do this. Learn how to nurture your emotional well-being. In this video, we're going to dive deep into 3 transformative principles that will help you regain control of your emotions, embrace change with grace, and cultivate a mindset of gratitude and compassion. Whether you're navigating life's ups and downs, feeling overwhelmed by change, or just wanting to find a little more peace in the everyday, this journey is for you. Stay tuned as we explore how mastering self-awareness, building resilience, and shifting your perspective can lead you to a more balanced and fulfilling life. These aren't just ideas, they're life-changing practices that will help you live with more joy, purpose, and strength. Number 1. Mastering self-awareness. The key to emotional control. Imagine this. You wake up on a beautiful sunny morning. The light is streaming through your window, the air feels crisp, and everything seems right with the world. You stretch, take a deep breath, and feel a deep sense of peace. Life feels good. You're calm, collected, and ready to take on the day. Now, wouldn't it be wonderful if you could carry that feeling with you throughout every moment, no matter what happens? In a world that moves fast, with endless distractions and stresses, the idea of remaining calm might feel like a distant dream. But here's the secret. Staying composed is within your control, and it all begins with mastering self-awareness. Self-awareness is like having a superpower that helps you understand yourself on a deeper level. It's about tuning into your thoughts and emotions without letting them take over. Imagine you're driving a car. Most of the time, you're on autopilot. But when something unexpected happens, you snap out of it and take control. That's what self-awareness does. It shifts you from autopilot to a more mindful state where you can navigate through life's challenges with more intention. Now, think back to a moment when you were caught in a wave of emotion. Maybe it was anger, sadness, or anxiety. In that moment, you probably felt like a passenger in your own mind, with your emotions in the driver's seat. We've all been there. Perhaps it was that time you were stuck in traffic, and despite knowing it wasn't going to help, you still felt the tension building inside you. Or maybe it was a disagreement with a friend or partner where your emotions got the better of you, and you said things you didn't mean. But what if in those moments you could step back and observe yourself like a calm bystander? That's where the power of self-awareness comes in. Picture yourself in 2 roles. One as the thinker, the part of you caught up in the heat of the moment, and the other as the observer, the calm part of you watching from the outside. The observer doesn't react. It simply notices. It's aware of your anger, your frustration, or your sadness, but it's not consumed by them. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel like life is happening to you. But when you develop self-awareness, you begin to realize that while you can't control everything, you can control how you respond to it. Now let's take a moment and reflect. Think back to a time when you were a kid, running around without a care in the world. Maybe it was a summer afternoon, and you were out playing with friends, lost in the moment, completely unaware of the time passing. You didn't think about tomorrow, you didn't dwell on what happened yesterday. You were just in the present. Those moments were pure joy, weren't they? As adults, we lose that innocence, and our minds get cluttered with responsibilities, worries, and stresses. But here's the beauty of self-awareness. It helps us reclaim that presence, that ability to be fully in the moment. It starts with the little things. Next time you're standing in line at the grocery store or stuck in traffic, notice your thoughts. Observe your emotions and don't judge them. Just be aware. It's in these small, everyday moments that the practice of self-awareness can start to take root. Over time, you'll notice that you're less reactive, more composed, and in control of how you respond to life's challenges. And that's just the beginning. The more you practice, the stronger this skill becomes. You'll begin to master not just the small annoyances, but the bigger challenges too. Isn't it fascinating to think that by simply becoming more aware of our thoughts, we can transform our entire experience of life? Number 2, building resilience, turning adversity into strength. Do you remember your first real setback in life? Maybe it was not getting into the college you wanted, losing your first job, or going through a tough breakup. Whatever it was, that moment probably felt like the end of the world. But now, when you look back, you realize that it wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of a new chapter. Life is full of these moments. It's like an unpredictable game where sometimes you catch the ball, and other times it hits you square in the face. But here's the thing. Resilience isn't about dodging life's challenges. It's about learning how to get back up when life knocks you down. Think about the last time something didn't go your way. Maybe you spilled coffee all over yourself right before an important meeting, or maybe you got hit with bad news you weren't expecting. It's in these moments that we have a choice. Either we let the situation defeat us, or we find a way to keep moving forward. Let's take a walk down memory lane for a second. Remember when you were a kid learning to ride a bike? You fell, scraped your knees, and probably wanted to quit. But then you got back on that bike. Maybe your parents encouraged you, or maybe you were determined to do it yourself. Either way, after a few more falls, you eventually got the hang of it. That's resilience. It's the ability to keep going, to keep learning, and to keep growing, no matter how many times you fall. Now, as adults, we face bigger challenges: job loss, relationship troubles, personal failures. And in these moments, it's easy to feel defeated, but what if we change the way we viewed these challenges? Instead of seeing them as setbacks, what if we saw them as opportunities for growth? Just like that time you fell off your bike, each setback is a lesson. It's a chance to build your resilience muscles. Resilience is not about pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about acknowledging the pain, the frustration, and the disappointment, but choosing to move forward anyway. It's about shifting from asking, "Why is this happening to me?" to, "What can I learn from this?" Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Every challenge you face is like a workout for your mind. It makes you stronger, more adaptable, and more capable of handling the next challenge that comes your way. Think back to a time in your life when you overcame something difficult. It could be anything: finishing a tough project at work, navigating through a rough patch in a relationship, or even getting through a period of uncertainty. You made it through, didn't you? You may not have realized it at the time, but those moments were shaping you, making you more resilient. Isn't it incredible to think that every obstacle you've faced has prepared you for where you are today? And with each new challenge, you're only getting stronger. That's the beauty of resilience. It's not something you're born with, it's something you build over time. So the next time life throws a curveball your way, take a deep breath and remind yourself of all the challenges you've already overcome. You've done it before, and you can do it again. Each hurdle is just another opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become an even stronger version of yourself. Number 3, shifting perspective, finding peace in chaos. Imagine for a moment you're on a roller coaster. The climb to the top is exhilarating, your heart is racing, and the view from the peak is breathtaking. But then the drop comes, and suddenly you're plunging down. Everything's moving too fast, and you feel completely out of control. Life can feel a lot like that, can't it? One minute, everything's going smoothly, and the next, chaos hits, leaving you feeling overwhelmed. But what if I told you that no matter what's happening around you, there's a way to stay calm amidst the chaos? It all comes down to perspective. You see, we often get caught up in the ups and downs of life, reacting to every little thing that goes wrong. Stuck in traffic, frustration sets in. A rude comment from a coworker, anger rises. But here's the thing. It's not the situation that's causing your stress, it's how you're viewing it. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In other words, it's not the traffic jam, the rude comment, or the unexpected challenge that's causing you stress. It's your perspective on it. Think about it. Have you ever had one of those days where everything seems to go wrong, and no matter what you do, you just can't catch a break? Maybe it was a day filled with minor annoyances. Your coffee spills, you're late for work, and then, to top it off, you miss a deadline. It's easy to spiral in those moments, to let the stress and frustration build. But what if, instead of letting it get to you, you took a step back and changed your perspective? Imagine your mind is like a mirror. It reflects everything around you, the good, the bad, and everything in between. But here's the thing, the mirror doesn't react to what it reflects. It simply shows what's in front of it. You have the power, sure. Here's the continuation of the script, focusing on the next 3 headings, again following the emotional progression from happiness to core content, then nostalgia, and finally curiosity. The tone will still aim to be relatable for an 18 to 65-year-old audience, mostly from the USA. Number 4, the power of gratitude, finding joy in small moments. Think about the last time you felt truly happy. Maybe it was a warm summer day, sipping your favorite coffee, or the sound of laughter with friends or family. These moments, though fleeting, have a way of filling us with joy. But all too often, we let them pass by without fully appreciating them. Life moves fast and we're constantly focused on the next thing, bigger goals, better jobs, more money. But what if the secret to lasting happiness isn't in the big things, but in the small, everyday moments? Gratitude is like a magnifying glass. It takes those little moments of joy and makes them bigger, brighter, and more impactful. When we practice gratitude, we start to notice the beauty in the mundane, the feeling of warm sunlight on our skin, the taste of a delicious meal, or even the simple pleasure of a good conversation. It's about shifting our focus from what's missing to what's already there. Now let's dive a little deeper. Have you ever found yourself caught in the trap of wanting more? Maybe it's a bigger house, a newer car, or that promotion you've been eyeing for months. We all fall into this mindset from time to time. It's natural. After all, we're constantly bombarded with messages that tell us we need more to be happy. But here's the thing. True happiness doesn't come from having more. It comes from appreciating what we already have. Think back to your childhood. Remember those moments when the simplest things brought you the most joy. It could have been playing outside with friends, building forts in the living room, or spending time with family during the holidays. Back then, it wasn't about material possessions or external achievements. It was about the connections, the experiences, and the little moments that made you feel alive. As we grow older, we lose touch with that simplicity. Our lives become more complex, and we start to believe that happiness is something we have to chase. But the truth is, it's always been right in front of us. Gratitude is about coming back to that childlike wonder, finding joy in the present moment, and realizing that we already have so much to be thankful for. The beauty of gratitude is that it's not something you have to wait for. You can start practicing it right now. Take a moment to look around you. What are you thankful for? It could be the roof over your head, the food on your plate, or the people in your life. These may seem like small things, but when you truly take the time to appreciate them, they become sources of immense joy. And here's the most fascinating part. Science backs this up. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude regularly experience more positive emotions, feel more alive, sleep better, and even have stronger immune systems. Isn't it amazing to think that something as simple as saying thank you can have such a profound impact on your well-being? So, The next time you find yourself caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, take a step back. Take a deep breath and remind yourself of all the good that's already in your life. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the challenges or struggles you face. It simply means choosing to focus on the positive, even when things aren't perfect. And when you do, you'll start to realize that happiness isn't something you have to search for. It's been within you all along. Number 5, embracing change. Adapting with grace and courage. Change is one of those things we all experience, yet somehow it always feels a little uncomfortable, doesn't it? Whether it's moving to a new city, starting a new job, or going through a major life transition, change can feel like stepping into the unknown. And as humans, we tend to cling to what's familiar because it feels safe, predictable, and secure. But here's the truth. Change is inevitable, and learning how to embrace it is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Picture this: you're standing at the edge of a beach, and the tide is rolling in. The waves keep coming, whether you want them to or not. You can't stop the ocean, just like you can't stop change. But what you can do is learn to ride the waves. Embracing change is about being flexible, open, and courageous enough to face the unknown with grace. Now, let's take a moment to think about a time when you resisted change. Maybe it was a job you didn't want to leave, a relationship that had run its course, or a move to a new city that filled you with anxiety. At the time, it probably felt like the world was turning upside down. But looking back, you can see how that change led to growth, new opportunities, and a better understanding of yourself. Isn't it funny how, in hindsight, the things we were most afraid of often turn out to be the moments that shape us the most? Change isn't just about the big life events either. It happens every day in small ways too. From a change in your daily routine to learning new skills or facing unexpected challenges, life is constantly shifting. And while it's natural to feel uneasy about it, resisting change only makes it harder. The key is to let go of the need for control and instead approach life with a mindset of curiosity and openness. Think back to when you were younger. Remember how exciting it was to try something new. Maybe it was learning how to ride a bike, trying a new sport, or starting your first job. Back then, change was thrilling. It was an adventure. As we grow older, we tend to lose that sense of excitement and instead focus on the fear of what could go wrong. But what if we could reclaim that childlike sense of wonder and view change as an opportunity for growth rather than something to fear? One of the greatest examples of embracing change comes from nature. Just look at the seasons. Every year, without fail, the world around us transforms. Leaves fall, snow covers the ground, and eventually new life begins to bloom again. Nature doesn't resist change, it flows with it. And just like the seasons, we too are constantly evolving. Each phase of life brings new lessons, challenges, and opportunities. The beauty of change is that it's always moving us forward. Even when it feels uncomfortable or scary, it's pushing us towards something new. And while you can't always predict what's coming next, you can trust that every change is a chance to grow, to learn, and to become a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. So, the next time life throws you a curveball, take a deep breath and remind yourself that you've faced change before and you've come out stronger because of it. Embrace the uncertainty and trust that whatever happens, you have the courage and grace to handle it. Number 6, nurturing compassion, kindness towards yourself and others. We live in a world that often feels divided, where judgment and criticism seem to come easily, both towards others and ourselves. But there's something incredibly powerful that can bridge those divides and bring us closer together: compassion. Compassion is the ability to see the humanity in others, to recognize their struggles, and to respond with kindness. It's about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and understanding that at the end of the day, we're all just doing the best we can. And it's not just about being kind to others, it's about being kind to yourself too. Think about the last time you were hard on yourself. Maybe you made a mistake at work, or you didn't meet your own expectations in some way. In those moments, it's easy to fall into a cycle of self-criticism, beating yourself up for not being perfect. But here's the thing. Nobody's perfect. We're all flawed, and we all make mistakes, and that's okay. Compassion is about recognizing your imperfections, forgiving yourself, and treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer to a friend. Now let's go back in time for a moment. Remember when you were a child and you were learning something new, like how to tie your shoes or solve a math problem. You probably made mistakes along the way, but chances are there was someone, maybe a parent, teacher, or friend, who was patient with you, who encouraged you to keep trying, and who showed you compassion when you stumbled. As adults, we often forget to extend that same kindness to ourselves. We hold ourselves to impossibly high standards, and when we fall short, we're quick to judge. But here's a question. What if, instead of being our own harshest critic, we became our own greatest supporter? Compassion isn't just about the big acts of kindness either. It's in the little things. Offering a smile to a stranger, listening to someone who's having a tough day, or taking a moment to check in with yourself when you're feeling overwhelmed. These small acts of compassion create ripples that can have a profound impact on both your life and the lives of those around you. And the most amazing part? Compassion is contagious. When you show kindness to others, it creates a ripple effect. One act of compassion can inspire another, and before you know it, you've created a wave of positivity that touches the people around you. By now, you've seen how mastering self-awareness, building resilience, and shifting your perspective can have a profound impact on how you handle life's challenges. These principles of Stoicism are not just ancient wisdom, but practical tools for everyday living. The road to emotional strength and calm doesn't come overnight, but with steady practice, you'll find yourself feeling more grounded even when life throws its toughest curveballs. Drop a 100 in the comments if you've watched this far. That shows you're part of the top 0.01% who finish what they start. If you're serious about creating real change in your life, don't forget to subscribe and become a part of our community. There's so much more to learn, and I can't wait to share more with you on this journey toward a better, stronger you.